Greetings, my faithful viewers. Guess who's back in action? That's right, me, Rowdy Retro Viewer. And as you saw by the title of this video, in about 1.5 months from now, Scooby-Doo will be 55 years old. Now before I continue on with the rest of the video, I need to bring up a few things. Number one, as you saw from my community post that I created the other day, I was starting to deal with my coughing again. Yeah, somehow I found my allergy will die down, was starting to kick back up again. Mainly my coughing. Because the other day it felt like I was about to hack up a hairball. Okay, I'm sorry if that sounded a little bit gross to you guys, but I had to bring it up, okay? I had to. So I won't go into more details about that. And number two, as I stated several times before, since I am starting to get better, I still promise to do a review of Space Jam 2 New Legacy. Meaning that I might have to rewatch this film again. Because I know I still promised you guys a review of this last month, but I couldn't get around to it because of my health. So yeah, those are some of the things I want to bring up. So yeah, on this September 13th, 2024, our favorite Hanna-Barbera mystery-solving dog, Scooby-Doo, will be 55 years old. That's right, 55 years old. Can you believe it? Scooby-Doo has been entertaining us for years, almost 5.5 decades now. It's actually pretty wild when you think about it. I mean, it's hard to think of a world without our lovable cartoon canine dog, Scooby-Doo. In fact, as I'm recording this, more Scooby-Doo related media is still being worked on right now. We already talked about Netflix producing a live-action Scooby-Doo series, there's Go-Go Mystery Machine, the possible Scooby-Doo Gremlins Get Away direct-to-video film, which we're still waiting for more info, and the Multiverse's comic book featuring, well, Shaggy and Scooby. So yeah, it seems like the future of the franchise is still going pretty strong. I mean, sure, maybe not every Scooby-Doo related movie or TV show is 100% perfect. Like Scooby-Doo on Return to Zombie Island or HBO Max's Velma, for example. Even though I sort of have a soft spot for both of those iterations of the franchise. Please don't hate me for that. Just trying to state facts. But other than that, it's just hard to believe that an iconic character like Scooby-Doo has been around for 55 years. I mean, he's totally trying to outshine some of our other favorite Hanna-Barbera characters that we grew up watching, like Yogi Bear, Huckleberry Hound, Johnny Quest, the Flintstones, the Jetsons, Wacky Races, Penelope Pitstop, Dastardly and Muttley, Dynamite, Captain Caveman, Top Cat, Adamant, Goober and the Ghost Chasers, Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles, the Banana Splits, the Amazing Chan and the Chan Clan, Wally Gator, Quick Draw McGraw, Jabberjaw, and so many more. I actually got a lot of favorite Scooby-Doo episodes and movies. Like, okay, I do remember that I always think that one of my favorite episodes from Scooby-Doo and Guess Who, well actually I have 3 favorites. There's the Funky Phantom crew appearing in Scooby-Doo A Guess Who called Mystery Solving Gang Divided. A Haunt of 1,000 Voices featuring the voice cast of Scooby-Doo themselves, Frank Welker, Greg Griffin, Matthew Lillard, and Kane Micucci. And Scooby-Doo Dog Wonder featuring Dynamite and Blue Falcon. I said this before over on JB and Millie's channel on how those are like my favorite episodes. Probably because I'm a huge sucker for Hanna-Barbera. And I'm glad that the people who worked on that show at least acknowledged the existence of the Funky Phantom crew and Dynamite and Blue Falcon. As for A Haunt of 1,000 Voices, it's kind of like a big fourth wall break. Big fourth wall joke. Because we get to see Frank Welker, Kane Micucci, Matthew Lillard, and Greg Griffin interact with their cartoon egos. And that's not the first time something like this happens. I remember Matthew Lillard interacting with Shaggy and Scooby and alluding to his back in action. In the cafeteria scene where Shaggy and Scooby are arguing to Matthew Lillard about his role as, well, Shaggy from the live action movies. Kinda got a laugh out of me. As for the movies, I am a bit of a sucker for crossover movies, such as Stray Out of Nowhere Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because in that film, it kind of does a good job bringing back a classic Cartoon Network character that people seem to be fully aware of. And I'm glad that type of crossover actually existed, even if John R. Dilworth wasn't involved with the film. And I do believe that film was somewhat inspired by the Scooby-Doo Courage the Cowardly Dog Scare-a-thon, which was like some kind of contest that Cartoon Network used to do back in the day. And for Scoob, I've probably said this before and I'll say it again. It was probably misunderstood and very underrated. And I never hated the film. In fact, when I watched this film countless times, as well as watching it again for the 4th anniversary a few months ago, I never found anything wrong with that film. I never did. And I don't mind that film was trying to start like a cinematic universe. A Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe. You know? It's not a bad thing. But yeah, it kind of proves my point about how iconic Scooby-Doo can be. Whether it's any of the TV shows like Scooby-Doo Where Are You to HBO Max's Velma, as well as the possible live-action Netflix series in Go-Go Mystery Machine. Any of the movies, starting with Scooby-Doo Goes Hollywood to Scooby-Doo and Crypto 2, and the possible Gremlins Get Away film, any of the comic books, and video games. And most of all, I always gotten the hang of seeing so many variations of the gang, rather than TV, movie, comic, or video game form, as well as seeing so many people portray the characters in any form of media, which I don't mind at all. Heck, sometimes I like to think that the HBO Max's Velma series was meant to be in its own separate universe. Which to be fair, you guys would agree with me on that one. Even though I have a feeling you won't. But other than that, it kind of proves how popular and iconic Scooby-Doo can be. You got a group of kids and their talking dog going to different spooky places to solve mysteries. I mean, that's pretty genius. I mean, it's kind of like watching a horror movie, but more family-friendly like. You know? And to be fair, it's not. Sometimes this franchise isn't afraid to involve real life ghouls. I mean, the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo, Scooby-Doo meets the Boo Brothers, Ghoul School, Reluctant Werewolf, Zombie Island, Witches Ghosts, and Alien Invaders, and Scooby-Doo and the Goblin King are prime examples of what I'm talking about. Wait, does Scooby Apocalypse, which is a comic book series, count as trying to show real life monsters? I mean, I never read it, but I'm sure it does, right? Okay, you guys are probably gonna tell me it might not count, but it might as well. But other than that, I never did hate Scooby-Doo. And sure, like I said, maybe not every Scooby-Doo related movie or TV show has to be 100% perfect. Sometimes there's bound to be a few rotten eggs here and there. But hey, who says trying to work on a TV show or movie is easy? I mean, it seems to be a lot harder than it looks, you know? Which I totally understand. I totally get it. It's not that easy. Especially when it comes to working on a Hanna-Barbera show like Scooby-Doo. And you know, no matter what variation of Scooby-Doo there is, he will always be very popular. And that's true. I mean, for 55 years, we have seen so many variations of Scooby-Doo in the game. And that's true. I mean, every single person on YouTube has talked about the franchise. As I was saying, every person on YouTube has talked about the franchise. Andre Meadows, aka Black Nerd Comedy, JB and Billy, 47 Cartoon Guy, Nostalgia Critic, Mark Marsh, Ashton Hardy, Brian Hall, Brizzy Voices, Animat, aka Electric Dragon 505, and Channel Frederator, so many more, including Scoobytopia, which, by the way, shoutouts to you guys who is watching this video. Oh, and I can't forget about 3C Films, because I think he briefly mentioned, I think he talked about some of the Scooby-Doo projects, like Scoob Holiday Haunt, and I think he did a video about the third live-action Scooby-Doo film being cancelled, if I'm correct. But that pretty much proves my point. Every person on YouTube has already been aware about Scooby-Doo for years. Based on what we know. Like any of the TV shows, like the ones I'm holding right here. Or even a movie. No matter what variation of Scooby-Doo we watch, he will still be very popular and iconic no matter what. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with a lot of other Hanna-Barbera shows. I mean, I did list some of them earlier. But I will admit, Scooby-Doo is a pretty amazing franchise. I mean, I just binge-watched the Scooby-Doo show on Tubi for a few days now, which proves how much I like Scooby-Doo. And yes, we will still have to keep waiting for more updates on Netflix producing a live-action Scooby-Doo series, as well as Go-Go Mystery Machine, and Scooby-Doo Gremlins Get Away, for example. Still excited to see how either one of those projects will turn out, whether people will like it or not. You know, And I'm sure you guys will agree with me. So yeah. And I know you guys were expecting me to do like a history on the franchise and how it got started, but to be fair, there were already countless videos discussing how the franchise became to be. Heck, the CW TV channel did like a hour-long TV special called Scooby-Doo, Where Are You Now? Which is kind of like a prime example of how it was going into like the franchise's legacy, you know? Which I assume you guys have already seen that special, or seen people talk about it on YouTube, which I totally understand. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will watch any type of Scooby-Doo movie or TV show for a box of Scooby snacks. It's true, and I mean it. I really do.